Hey guys, what's going on? So I again come up with a new video, and this time we will discuss about the taxability or the provision of GST for those persons who are supplying the goods or services through the electronic commerce operator. So this video is not meant for the electronic commerce operator or from the point of view of the electronic commerce operator like the Amazon, Flipkart, Paytm, etc. because they are really big, they are really huge, and they already know that what is the impact of GST on their businesses. But I will talk about in this video about the point of view of the person who are supplying the goods or service through the electronic commerce operator, like a normal person, normal guy who just sell their product through the electronic commerce operator like the Flipkart or the Amazon. So here's the list of the provision which will going to impact on you guys if you are selling your product through the Amazon, Flipkart or other e-commerce operator. Now we should take a look at one by one about the provision which will hit you guys if you are an electronic commerce operator. So the first one is about the definition of electronic commerce and the electronic commerce operator. So section 2 subsection 44 and section 2 subsection 45 deals with the definition of electronic commerce and the electronic commerce operator. So electronic commerce basically means the supplying of goods or services by way of electronic means. So suppose I am a person and I am just selling a product via the website called the Amazon. So this will be called a electronic commerce. And what are the guys who are electronic commerce operator? So electronic commerce operator is those who have their platform, electronic platform by which the person sells the goods or services. So just like the Amazon, Flipkart, OYO or other kind of stuff. So those person are electronic commerce operator if they have their website and they are selling the product of other person through their website, and those person and the trading is done into the electronic commerce operator, which will be called as a electronic commerce, like the commerce in an electronic way, simply put. So that is the definition. All right guys, so now next one is about the section 9 subsection 5, which is regarding the reverse charge. So under section 9 subsection 5 there is a reverse charge on particular category of service, the interstate or the intrastate supply of which the electronic commerce operator need to pay tax on the reverse charge basis. So that is provided under section 9 subsection 5 of CGST Act, and similar provision is regarding those one in respect of interstate supply of particular services by the electronic commerce operator, and that will be provided under section IGST Act. So there is a specific category of services, the interstate or intrastate supply of which the electronic commerce operator need to pay tax on the reverse charge basis. So what exactly are those specified services? So that is provided under notification number 17 of CGST Act rate and notification number 14 of IGST rate. So there is two particular category of services on which the tax is required to be paid by the electronic commerce operator like the Flipkart, Amazon, Paytm, etc. So what exactly are the services? So those services is like the transportation of passenger by cab or motorcycle, etc. So what exactly are those person? Just like a driver who has a car and they are providing the services through the Ola or the Uber. So Ola and Uber is required to pay tax on those category of services. And the second category of service is regarding the accommodation services. So who are the person who are required to pay tax on reverse charge basis on this? Like the OYO. So because you know that the OYO is a website and they provide the services by way of accommodation. So I have a home and I just want to rent it out for a certain month, or I just want to rent it out for some days like 2 or 3. So because OYO is a website, they provide the service, the provider service is different, and there is a website and I just sell or display my room into the website. They just act as a mediator. So therefore the OYO rooms or OYO will require to pay tax on the reverse charge basis. I don't know what exactly is the nature of the OYO, I don't know, but if there is a website on which you guys, if you are owner of the home and you just supply the service by way of that website, so that will be under the reverse charge basis, and those person who has the website electronic platform will require to pay tax under the reverse charge. So that is the two category of service. First one is the transportation of passenger, and second one is the accommodation services. But remember that if in case you are the person who has a home and you are already registered or required to register under GST because your turnover exceed 20 lakh rupees, then in those cases the OYO or some other website will not pay the tax under reverse charge. So that only condition in case of accommodation services. So you guys, if you are providing the accommodation services and you are already registered, then those person who has a website will not pay tax under reverse charge. So that is only the condition for the accommodation one. So that is the reverse charge. Now the third one is section 10 subsection 2 clause number D, which is regarding the ineligibility of the composition scheme. So if you are a person who are supplying the goods, not the service, because service is already ineligible for the composition scheme. So if you are a person who are supplying the goods through the electronic commerce operator, then also you cannot avail the composition scheme. Because why you cannot avail the composition scheme? Because in those cases the electronic commerce operator will have to collect the TDS, TCS, and you know that the credit of TCS will be available to you guys. And because we know that in case you are opting for composition scheme, you cannot take the credit, so there will be contradiction that you cannot take the credit, and in another case you can take the credit as per the TCS provision. So therefore they are out of the composition scheme if you are supplying the goods through the electronic commerce operator, and the electronic commerce operator is required to collect TCS on those transactions. Remember that if the electronic commerce operator is not required to collect TCS on it, then you will be eligible for composition scheme. So you will get out of the composition scheme only if you are supplying the goods through the electronic commerce operator, and that electronic commerce operator is also required to collect TCS. So that is also provided under section 10 subsection 2 clause number D. And then section number 24 clause number 9, which is regarding the mandatorily registration requirement, is also says that if you are a supplier of goods or services and you are supplying goods or services through the electronic commerce operator, then and that electronic commerce operator is also required to collect TCS on it, then you will mandatorily require to register under GST. But that required is not for those one in which cases the tax will be payable as per the reverse charge. So those person who are covered in notification number 17 of CGST rate, like the service provider of transportation of passenger or the accommodation services, those guys will not be mandatorily registered under GST. That will be registered under GST if their turnover exceed 20 lakh rupees. But other kind of a person who are supplying the goods, like I am a guy and I am supplying the goods through the Flipkart, then the Flipkart, if the Flipkart is required to collect TCS on it, then I will be mandatorily required to register under GST even if my turnover is below 20 lakh rupees. I know that this is unfair, so we will discuss it here, that whether the TCS provision is applicable or not. So last section number 52, which is regarding the TCS, is also those guys who are electronic commerce operators. So remember that if you are a person who are supplying goods or services through the electronic commerce operator, you are not required to collect TCS, but the person who has the electronic platform like the Flipkart or Flipkart, Amazon or Paytm will require to collect TCS on your transaction. So let me just tell you the quick or some of the important point regarding the section number 52. I'm not going to discuss it in detail in this clip. So that are the specific point which will be applicable on you guys, and that will be also very important for you. So the first one is like that TCS provision first of all is not applicable right now, and the date of recording this video is 6th August 2017. By the way, that is also the date of Friendship Day. So happy Friendship Day to all of you guys. We are just a friend now. So right now on 6th August 2017, the TCS provision is not applicable. And if you want to cross check it, then check out the notification number 1 and notification number 9 of the central tax, in which they says that how many section is right now applicable with effect from 1st July. So in that list there is nowhere written like section number 51 and 52 is not written in the list of section which is applicable on 1st July 2017. So therefore the requirement to collect TCS by the electronic commerce operator is now not effective right now on 6th August 2017. So therefore all the requirement like the mandatorily registration requirement is not there also till now, but this is applicable, like reverse charge provision is applicable and that is already provided from 1st July 2017, but the TCS requirement is not right now applicable on electronic commerce operator because of notification number 1 and 9. Then the TCS is to be collected by the electronic commerce operator not exceeding the percentage of 1%. So we can say like 0.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST or 1% IGST. So 1% is the maximum limit. The limit is not prescribed till that, but we can say that 1% is both for SGST and CGST because the wording is written as not exceeding 1%. So we can say that 0.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST, or in case of an interstate supply then 1% IGST. Third one is that now the question is on what value the TCS is required to be collected by the electronic commerce operator. So the electronic commerce operator is required to collect TCS based on the net value of taxable supply, but in which they will not count the supply of services in which they are required to pay tax on the reverse charge. So those category of services on which they are required to pay tax under reverse charge will not be included into the net value of taxable supply, and the net value of taxable supply will also be exclude. You have to exclude, the electronic commerce operator have to exclude the returns good. So when you are supplying the goods and you also got return of goods within a month, then those return goods they are required to subtract those return goods from the net value of taxable supply, and in which periodicity they are required to collect TCS. They are required to collect TCS on monthly basis. They will collect your TCS. And what about the input tax credit? So electronic commerce operator can have to collect TCS on your supply. So whether you can take the credit on or the TCS collected by the electronic commerce operator. So yes, you can take the credit, but there is a set process of taking the input tax credit of the TCS collected by the e-commerce operator. The process is like the e-commerce operator will have to file GSTR 8 regarding the collection of the TCS, and then you have to also submit your GSTR 1, and that data from the GSTR 8 by the electronic commerce operator will auto populated into your GSTR 1, and then you can take the credit. But there are other requirements also. If you want to know about it, then you can also mail me on a mail ID sharvangst.148@gmail.com. And regarding the outward supply, so you are a person who are supplying the goods or services through the electronic commerce operator, and you have to also fill the detail regarding the outward supply into your GSTR 1. And similarly, the person who are the electronic commerce operator also need to fill the detail regarding the TCS, and when both the data will be matched, then only it will be processed further, and if there is a mismatching, then it will be disposed of as according to section number 52. So if you want to also know about mismatching, then you can mail me on my mail ID. And then another point, if your supply of services or goods is exempted, then those person who are electronic commerce operator will not be required to collect TCS on it, because when your product is exempted, so how they can collect the TCS on it? No, they will not collect the TCS on it. And if you have your own website, so like suppose I am selling something and I have my own website, then the question is whether I am supposed to collect the TCS of my own. So hell no. If you have your own website and you're selling your product through your own website, then you are not required to collect TCS of your own. So no, that will be treated similarly like other provision. So you will not collect TCS. If your turnover exceeds 20 lakh rupees, then you are required to register the GST. And then the travel agent who are also supplying the services through the website will also be required to collect TCS. So that is the quick provision important provision relating to the section number 52. That is just the important point, but if you want to know in detail about it, then you can check out section number 52, but it is not right now applicable. And if you want to know more about section 52 or any other provision relating to the e-commerce person, not the e-commerce operator, because they are really huge and they also know about their business, or if you are a person who supplies the goods or services through the electronic commerce operator, then you can ask me your query on sharwangst.148@gmail.com, sharwangst.148@gmail.com, subject to some conditions. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button down below the video. But you have already subscribed to the channel, then don't click again on that button, because that will make you unsubscribe from my channel. And today is the friendship day, so I hope that our relationship will be last long and will be very long, and I hope that we will build a good relationship as a friend for your goodwill and also for my goodwill. Alright guys, so now we will again in the next video. Till then, bye bye.